Welcome to the Emotional Balance Sheet, the go-to podcast for parents with multiple kids, especially those with twins, triplets, or more, who are navigating the maze of modern family life and personal finance. Whether you're overwhelmed by education or retirement planning, parenting dilemmas, career transitions, or trying to define your purpose and plan, we're here to guide you with empathy, encouragement, and expertise. Hosted by Paul Fenner, founder of Tama Capital, a certified financial planner and parent to 4 kids, including a set of triplets. Our podcast is your ally in the quest for financial peace of mind, proving that money matters, but family comes first. Subscribe now and join our community of empowered parents at tamacapital.com. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Clients of Tama may retain positions in the securities discussed in this podcast.
What does comprehensive financial planning even mean? At Tama Capital, it means a family office where lifestyle planning such as retirement, college, portfolio management, and tax prep and planning are all under one umbrella. But it goes beyond numbers. We focus as much on the emotional side of financial planning as we do on the financial side. We get you. We understand your challenges of building a family, business or career, and a healthy life. We are devoted to wealth planning for families like yours because we are you. Learn how our family can help your family by visiting tamacapital.com. Hi, and welcome back. There's one thing that I've seen all over Morgan Housel's writings, and I actually see it constantly in my practice at Tama. It's the best way to deal with uncertainty without hiding in a bunker is to save like a pessimist, but invest like an optimist. And this sounds really simple until you actually try to do it, because most of us collapse into one side or the other. We're either saving everything and potentially being miserable, or spending everything and being too fragile. Holding both thoughts at the same time, it's much harder than you think. So let me tell you about 2 families that I've worked with. Both have multiple kids, they have great incomes, but both are stressed about money, but for the completely opposite reasons. The first family came to me about a year ago. 3 kids, demanding jobs, doing all the things right on paper. They were maxing out 401ks, contributing to 529s, and just building their portfolio. Their retirement accounts looked great, but what was startling is that they maybe had $3,000 in their checking account, a couple thousand in a savings account. So when their HVAC died in July, it was crisis mode. When one of the kids needed braces, they had to put it on a credit card. Every unexpected expense just seemed to send them into panic mode. So when we sat down and looked at everything, I said, what if you stop contributing to your 401k for like 6 months and just build up a cash reserve fund instead? So when life happens, not everything feels like a crisis. And I remember the spouse looked at me like I had suggested something illegal. And the husband said, can we really do that? And I told him, yes. Our lives, financial, personal plans are never set in stone. Our lives and our plans are always adjustable. Here's what doesn't make sense to me. They're building wealth for 30 years from now while being completely fragile today. It was hard to be present with their kids because you're always one car repair away from a meltdown. But they did it. They pulled back on retirement contributions for 4 or 5 months and built that buffer. The relief was immediate. Not because their net worth had changed, but because they were able to breathe. The second family is the opposite. 4 kids, again, great income, living well right now. Nice house, they're going on great vacations, activities galore for all the kids. They're present, they're enjoying life, but they're not saving anything. Maybe a little in the 401k, just enough to get the company match, and that's about it. Every dollar that comes in is every dollar that goes out. and they're starting to feel it. Why? Because their oldest is 13 and they feel college is coming and they have no idea how they're going to pay for it. Sometimes they want to step back from their work, maybe one day, but the math doesn't work. They're investing in today, but not tomorrow. And now the stress is building because they can see what's coming and they're not ready. So here's what I've noticed. People are either wired one way or the other. Some people are programmed to save. They've been told their whole lives to max out retirement accounts, live below their means, delay gratification. And they take it so seriously that they make themselves miserable. And honestly, sometimes I fall into this camp. But it's something I've been working on as I've gotten older. And it's probably because I know the clock is ticking with how much time I have left with my kids before they're off to college or on their own. However, families may be optimizing for a future that might never come while being so stressed and fragile about what's going on today. Now, other people are programmed to spend. They want to enjoy life. They want to make memories today with their spouses, with their kids, and not deprive themselves of anything. And I get it. But they're building a life on a foundation that they can't hold on to. One job loss, one health crisis, and everything collapses. Both of these families are missing the same thing. You need to save like a pessimist and invest like an optimist. Not one or the other, but both. So saving like a pessimist means assuming things will go wrong, because you and I both know they will. You'll lose a job, a parent will need care, the market will crash, or something you can't even imagine will happen, say a pandemic 5 years ago. Cash reserves, they're the buffer, not hiding in a bunker, but having enough cushion that when normal life happens, it's not a crisis. Now, investing like an optimist means trusting that over time, things will work out. The market grows, your career progresses, but likely not in a straight line. Your kids become independent. Human ingenuity finds a way to move forward. So you put money in the market and let time do its work. Compound. But if you only save, you're hiding. Inflation eats your purchasing power. You're protecting yourself from risk, but also from opportunity. And if you only invest without saving, you're fragile. That one expected expense, and you're selling investments probably at the worst time, going to debt or panicking. So you need both. You need to be able to hold both of these competing thoughts at once, which is uncomfortable because that's what they do. They contradict each other. The pessimist says, protect yourself. The optimist says, trust the future. But that tension is exactly where you need to live. So here's what I would suggest this week. Look at your actual situation. Not what you think you should be doing, but what you're actually doing. Do you have cash reserves? Do you have a reserve fund? Real cash. Not, we could probably sell some stocks if we needed to, but potentially, 6 months of expenses, depending on your situation. Sitting in an account doing nothing except giving you the ability to breathe when life happens. And are you investing for the future? I'm not just talking about it. Actually putting money in the market consistently and letting it compound. If you're doing one, but not the other, you're fragile in some direction. Maybe fragile today, maybe fragile in the future. But you are fragile. The goal isn't to be perfect. It's about having both pieces in place so you can live your life without constant anxiety about money. Now that you've made it to the end of another great conversation, are you looking for more? If so, head over to tamacapital.com, where you will find all of our conversations. Use the search feature to find the topic or guest you would love to learn more about. Also, don't forget to make someone else's day by sharing our show. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.